some things in time never, the end result never changes. And I'm hoping for that in terms of October 9th, this Saturday between Fury and Wilder, where they'll be actually fighting again against each other for the third fight, which was supposed to happen this summer, but it got postponed because not Fury, but Wilder, I believe, had to back out of the fight. So what's your thoughts on this, man?
I want to know who you have taking this fight, Spence. Come on, you got to give us the.
Listen, man. I've said this before. I said this when he fought Klitschko. I said this when he stopped fighting, and Anthony Joshua and Wilder were out here looking for the belts and traveling the world like it was Dragon Ball Z. Like, I have Fury. I think Fury is the best heavyweight in boxing for a while now. I've said this before he beat Klitschko. Well, I said this after he beat Klitschko. I will be honest there. But I don't see Wilder. I don't think Wilder has what it takes. I believe he's changed his coach as well for this fight, which can help, but it's only like I was seeing someone talk about this where they're saying there's only so much you can really do in a small window of time. So in terms of adjustments, and in this case, his whole style, in order for him to win the fight, he would have to change his style of fighting. His style of fighting is not fighting off his back foot, he's not able to, in terms of fighting backwards, he can't fight backwards. And that's that was the flaw that Fury recognized in their first bout, and he actually used that to his advantage in their second bout. So I don't think Wilder has what it takes. He may have, don't get me wrong, he still has the power. He has the power that, it is what it is. You can't stop it. It's something that you can't plan or predict. If it hits, when it lands, It's even dropped Fury before. But I just got Fury winning this, man. I think Fury's the more well-rounded fighter. He's more technically sound. He doesn't have to rely so much on a punch, as well as having a game plan already. He has a game plan and he knows how to beat Wilder after the first two bouts. And I believe before the fight they were supposed to have in the summertime, he was already predicting that he would knock Wilder out, which I think is possible probably by the 7th or 8th round. Well, probably by the 9th round.
I think Tyson Fury takes this fight by knockout in the 5th.
Ooh, 5th.
Yeah, I think he gets it done faster this time. Maybe the 6th. But I think that Tyson Fury just kind of has his number. I don't really know what else to say. I don't think this fight has taken place too far enough from the second fight in order for there to really be a chance for him to, win and compete. I do think that Deontay Wilder is a talented fighter, but I think that he's kind of missing what he would need to beat Tyson Fury. I don't think this fight stylistically is good for him. That's what I really think it is. I think Tyson Fury just has the style just to beat him. It doesn't really necessarily need to be power because he can just fight him in a way that he cannot overcome. So because of that, I just think he gets it done faster. He might really knock him out this time, for real.
It's very possible because I wouldn't be surprised if Wilder's actually going out there looking to end the fight early because, similar to like you said, because anybody that's familiar with Wilder knows that he didn't start boxing until he was 18 or 19 years old. So within that time span, granted, he went to the Olympics right after he started boxing, which was unbelievable in itself. And I think he placed. Listeners, correct me if I'm wrong. Leave it in the comments or DM us on our Instagram, whatever you need to let us know. But I believe Wilder, he started fighting when he was 18 or 19 years old. So his wheelhouse isn't even as big as Fury, who, if anybody knows, Tyson Fury is he's named after Mike Tyson. So you can already guess he's been fighting since he was a kid. So I think he, like you said, he has his number. Stylistically, he outmatches. Matchup wise, he's stylistically better, or more formidable of opponent for Wilder than anybody he's faced before. And anybody that's watched any of Wilder's old fights, man, he typically loses. He's losing his fights most of the time, or some of his fights, I'll say. Stavern, I won't say that, but like when he fought, what's the guy
knocked him out?
Yeah, I can't think of his name, but the fighter from Cuba.
I know who you're talking about. The one he just went in there and knocked the Sprite off his head, similar to fucking Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah, but he was losing that fight initially because
he didn't lose it though.
He didn't lose it. He didn't lose it, but he was losing the fight because he was fighting someone that was we all know Cuban boxing, especially. He was much more of a technically skilled fighter.
Right. And well, that's what I mean when I say like stylistically. You know what I mean? Like style wise, like he's just too good at evading and getting in and hitting him. You know what I mean? Especially like, you know, like the weakness you had when you pointed it out before.
Exactly. And it's one of those things that you can't really overcome. And it's at the end of the day, I'll put it this way. I will not be surprised if Wilder is charging his arm up like Mega Man in this next bout, like he was doing in the last fight. And I'm hoping that he doesn't, I don't know, man. I just hope that he's not giving excuses. He doesn't give excuses. He doesn't say that, oh, I was set up. This was planned. The ref cheated. My coach cheated. My corner cheated me. He had something in his gloves. They gave me tainted water. My suit was too heavy. My suit didn't have too much. I was walking around too long with it. Like, with all those lists of excuses, with 9 months to prepare, I don't think he has what he has what it takes to win. If he surprises me, it's going to be by a knockout, but I don't believe it. I don't see it nor believe it happening.
Man.
Like, oh, yo, you know what would be crazy? This would be one heck of a finish, right? Okay. And I don't know if you ever watched this fight or not. This was like a crazy knockout. But it'd be crazy if Wilder flatlines him the same way Manny Pacquiao got flatlined by Juan Manuel Marquez. You remember that?
That was upsetting to me, man. I'm not going to lie. Like, when I used to like watching Manny Pacquiao box, and like when he was actually boxing, like in his heyday, when I saw that shit, I was just like, damn, they did Manny dirty. But I mean, didn't he fight him like 5 times or something like that?
Yeah, I think that was like their 4th time fighting him and Juan Manuel Marquez. Him and Marquez, I don't want to mess up his name or chop his name up, but him and Marquez have fought. I think that was like their 4th time, 3rd or 4th time. It's 3 or 5. It was between there where he had finally fought him. But yeah, that was probably one of the craziest things. I remember they were showing clips of people watching it in the Philippines, and they thought he had died in the ring. Yeah, so that was kind of crazy, but I'm very curious. That would be a crazy way for Wilder to actually lose the fight. But yeah, man. Actually, but speaking of Manny, actually though, I don't know if you heard, but you saw where he's at. He's actually apparently he's about to retire, or he's announcing that he's retiring.